Charging different fees for site evaluations is legal, provided the pricing isn't based on discriminatory factors such as race or gender. A key element is transparency. Clearly state on the invoice that if the customer proceeds with hiring you for the electrical work, the site evaluation fee will be credited towards the final cost of the project. This approach can help alleviate any potential concerns customers might have about paying for an estimate. Residential customers generally have smaller projects and budgets compared to commercial clients. Therefore, charging a lower evaluation fee for residential properties is a common and justifiable practice. A figure of around $20 for a residential site evaluation can be considered reasonable. However, it is crucial to factor in travel time and distance. If the job site is located far away, or if the travel time is significant, you may need to adjust the fee accordingly to compensate for the additional time and fuel costs incurred. Commercial projects often involve larger scopes of work, complex electrical systems, and specialized equipment. While a higher evaluation fee for commercial properties is warranted, it's important to remain competitive and avoid overpricing your services. Charging more than $40 for a standard commercial site evaluation might be pushing it, but this ultimately depends on the prevailing rates in your specific geographic area and the complexity of the typical commercial jobs you handle. For particularly complex jobs that require a considerable amount of time for evaluation, consider implementing a tiered fee structure. For instance, you could charge a base fee of $40 for the first half hour of the site evaluation, and then add an additional $20 for each subsequent half hour spent on site. This approach ensures that you are adequately compensated for the time and expertise required for more intricate projects. Consistency is key when it comes to charging site evaluation fees. Be sure to charge all customers, both residential and commercial, for evaluations. This practice underscores the value of your time and expertise, even on jobs that you don't ultimately secure. Moreover, it prevents customers from repeatedly contacting you for free advice without intending to hire you for the actual work. By implementing a consistent fee structure, you establish clear expectations and ensure that you are fairly compensated for your time and professional knowledge. There are several factors to consider when determining the appropriate amount to charge for site evaluation fees. Firstly, consider your local market conditions. Research the pricing strategies of other electricians in your area to understand the prevailing rates for similar services. This will help you establish competitive fees that attract customers while ensuring profitability. Secondly, assess your overhead costs. Calculate all the expenses associated with running your electrical business, including vehicle costs, fuel, insurance, and labor. Your site evaluation fee should adequately cover these overhead costs to ensure the financial sustainability of your business. Thirdly, factor in your expertise and experience. If you have specialized skills or certifications, you can justify charging higher fees for your services. Customers are often willing to pay more for experienced and qualified professionals who can deliver high-quality workmanship. Furthermore, consider the complexity of the project. If the electrical work involves intricate wiring, specialized equipment, or challenging installation conditions, you may need to adjust your site evaluation fees accordingly. Complex projects require more time and expertise, and your fees should reflect the increased effort involved. Also, evaluate the potential value of the project. If the electrical work has the potential to significantly improve the property value or enhance the functionality of the building, you may be able to charge higher fees. Customers are more likely to invest in services that provide tangible benefits and long-term value. In addition, consider the level of risk involved. If the electrical work involves hazardous conditions, such as working with high-voltage equipment or in confined spaces, you may need to charge higher fees to compensate for the increased risk. Safety is paramount, and your fees should reflect the potential hazards associated with the project. It is also important to review and adjust your site evaluation fees periodically. As market conditions change and your business evolves, you may need to update your pricing to remain competitive and profitable. Regularly assess your costs, analyze market trends, and solicit feedback from customers to ensure that your fees are aligned with the value you provide. When communicating your site evaluation fees to customers, be transparent and upfront about your pricing policy. Clearly explain the purpose of the fee, what it covers, and how it will be credited towards the final cost of the project if they choose to hire you. Honest and open communication builds trust and fosters positive relationships with customers. You might also consider offering different levels of site evaluation services to cater to varying customer needs and budgets. For example, you could offer a basic site evaluation for a lower fee, which includes a general assessment of the electrical system and a preliminary estimate of the project cost. Alternatively, you could offer a comprehensive site evaluation for a higher fee, which includes a detailed inspection of the electrical system, a thorough analysis of potential issues, and a more accurate estimate of the project cost. By offering multiple options, you can provide customers with the flexibility to choose the level of service that best meets their specific requirements. Finally, remember that customer service is paramount. Treat every customer with respect and professionalism, regardless of whether they choose to hire you for the electrical work. Provide prompt and courteous service, answer questions thoroughly, and address any concerns they may have. Positive customer experiences lead to repeat business, referrals, and a strong reputation in the community. In addition to establishing a clear site evaluation fee policy, it's also crucial to have a well-defined process for conducting the evaluations themselves. Firstly, schedule the site evaluation at a time that is convenient for both you and the customer. Confirm the appointment details in advance and provide clear directions to the property. Secondly, arrive on time and present yourself professionally. Dress appropriately, be courteous, and introduce yourself to the customer. Thirdly, listen carefully to the customer's needs and concerns. Ask open-ended questions to gather information about the electrical issues they are experiencing and the goals they want to achieve. Fourthly, conduct a thorough inspection of the electrical system. Examine the wiring, outlets, switches, panels, and other components to identify any potential problems or hazards. Fifthly, take detailed notes and photographs of the electrical system. Document any existing damage, code violations, or areas of concern. Sixthly, develop a comprehensive plan of action. Outline the steps required to address the customer's electrical needs, including the materials, labor, and time involved. Seventhly, provide the customer with a clear and concise estimate of the project cost. Break down the estimate into individual line items, explaining the cost of each component and service. Eighthly, answer any questions the customer may have about the estimate or the proposed plan of action. Address their concerns and provide them with all the information they need to make an informed decision. Ninthly, follow up with the customer after the site evaluation. Thank them for their time and reiterate your commitment to providing high-quality electrical services. Tenthly, track the results of your site evaluations. Monitor the conversion rate of evaluations to completed projects to assess the effectiveness of your pricing and sales strategies. In the realm of electrical work, adherence to the National Electrical Code, or NEC, is paramount. Understanding and applying the NEC guidelines is crucial for ensuring safety and compliance in all electrical installations. The NEC is a comprehensive set of standards that governs the safe installation of electrical wiring and equipment. It is updated every 3 years to reflect the latest advancements in electrical technology and best practices. Firstly, Article 110.14 addresses electrical connections. All electrical connections must be made in a way that ensures a solid electrical connection without damaging the conductors. This is often achieved through the use of approved connectors and proper tightening torque. Secondly, Article 210.8 covers ground fault circuit interrupter, or GFCI, protection. GFCI protection is required in areas where there is a high risk of electric shock, such as bathrooms, kitchens, and outdoor locations. GFCIs are designed to quickly detect and interrupt ground faults, preventing serious injury or death. Thirdly, Article 210.12 outlines the requirements for arc fault circuit interrupter, or SI protection. SI protection is required in many areas of the home, particularly in bedrooms and living rooms. SIs are designed to detect and interrupt arc faults, which can cause fires. Fourthly, Article 250.50 discusses grounding electrode systems. A grounding electrode system provides a path for fault current to flow back to the source, tripping the overcurrent protection device and preventing an electrical shock. The grounding electrode system typically consists of a grounding electrode conductor connected to a grounding electrode, such as a ground rod or a metal water pipe. Fifthly, Article 300.4 addresses protection against physical damage. Electrical wiring and equipment must be protected from physical damage to prevent insulation breakdown and electrical hazards. This can be achieved through the use of conduit, raceways, or other protective measures. Sixthly, Article 310.15 covers ampacity of conductors. The ampacity of a conductor is the maximum amount of current it can safely carry without overheating. The NEC provides tables that specify the ampacity of different types of conductors based on their size, insulation, and ambient temperature. Seventhly, Article 404.2 addresses the location of switches. Switches must be installed in readily accessible locations and must be clearly marked to indicate their function. This ensures that users can easily control the electrical system and avoid confusion. Eighthly, Article 406.4 outlines the requirements for receptacles. Receptacles must be of the grounding type and must be properly installed and grounded. This provides a safe path for fault current to flow back to the source, preventing electrical shock. Ninthly, Article 408.36 discusses overcurrent protection. Overcurrent protection devices, such as circuit breakers and fuses, are designed to protect electrical circuits from overloads and short circuits. These devices must be properly sized and installed to ensure that they will effectively interrupt fault currents. Tenthly, Article 547.5 addresses wiring methods in agricultural buildings. Agricultural buildings often have unique environmental conditions, such as high humidity and corrosive atmospheres. The NEC specifies special wiring methods and materials that are suitable for use in these environments. Understanding and applying these key NEC articles is essential for ensuring the safety and compliance of electrical installations. Always consult the latest edition of the NEC and seek guidance from qualified electrical professionals when performing electrical work. In addition to the NEC, there are other relevant standards and regulations that electricians must adhere to. Firstly, local building codes often have specific requirements for electrical installations. These codes may vary depending on the jurisdiction, so it's important to check with the local building department to ensure compliance. Secondly, the Occupational Safety and Health Administration, or OSHA, sets standards for workplace safety. Electricians must follow OSHA regulations to protect themselves and their co-workers from electrical hazards. Thirdly, the National Fire Protection Association, or NFPA, develops standards for fire safety. Electricians must be familiar with NFPA standards related to electrical installations to prevent fires and protect lives. Fourthly, Underwriters Laboratories, or UL, tests and certifies electrical products. Electricians should only use UL-listed products to ensure that they meet safety standards. Fifthly, the American National Standards Institute, or ANSI, develops standards for a wide range of products and services. Electricians may need to comply with ANSI standards related to electrical equipment and installations. By adhering to these standards and regulations, electricians can ensure the safety, compliance, and quality of their work. It is also crucial to stay updated on the latest developments in the electrical industry. Attend training courses, read trade publications, and network with other professionals to stay informed about new technologies, techniques, and regulations. Continuous learning is essential for maintaining competence and providing the best possible service to customers. When performing electrical work, always prioritize safety. Wear appropriate personal protective equipment, such as gloves, safety glasses, and insulated tools. To energize circuits before working on them, and use lockout-tagout procedures to prevent accidental energization. Test circuits to verify that they are de-energized before beginning work. Follow safe work practices and avoid taking unnecessary risks. Electrical work can be dangerous, but by following safety precautions, you can minimize the risk of injury or death. Also, maintain a professional attitude and treat customers with respect. Be punctual, courteous, and responsive to their needs. Communicate clearly and explain the work you are performing in a way that they can understand. Build trust and rapport with customers to foster long-term relationships. Provide excellent customer service and strive to exceed their expectations. This will help you build a positive reputation and attract new business. Remember that your reputation is your most valuable asset. Maintain high ethical standards and always act with integrity. Be honest, fair, and transparent in your dealings with customers. Avoid cutting corners or compromising safety to save time or money. Uphold the highest standards of professionalism and strive to provide the best possible service to your customers. Electrical work is a challenging and rewarding profession. By mastering the technical skills, adhering to safety regulations, and providing excellent customer service, you can build a successful and fulfilling career.